1, I'd like to call the July meeting of the Edison Public Library Board to order at 7:04 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act and GSA 10:421, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by notice given to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger, News India, Times, posted on the Edison Public Library website and bulletin board, and given to the Township Clerk's Office. Mr. Kleiman, roll call, please.
Mr. Erico.
Here.
Ms. Kabadi.
Yes.
Ms. Leary is excused. Ms. Shivanti Patel.
Here.
Mr. Shreyans Patel.
Here.
Dr. Shen is excused. Ms. Singh is excused. Mr. Di Pasquale.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay. Resolution to approve the minutes of June 9th regular session.
Minutes of the Edison Township Free Public Library Board meeting of June 9, 2026. Present, Anthony Di Pasquale, Pallavi Kapari, Shivanti Patel, Chang Hui Shen, Rinki Singh, Katrina Leary. Absent, excused, Shreyans Patel, Ralph Rico. Also present, Joseph Palmbet, Board Attorney, Alan Kleinman, Library Director, Deborah Saar, Assistant Director, Amanda Coyle, Administrative Operations Manager, Sherry Race, Administration, Viral Patel, Council Liaison. Mr. Di Pasquale called the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. He led the salute to the flag and read the Open Public Meetings Act statement. Roll call taken. On motion and second, the resolution to approve the minutes of May 12, 2026 was approved. On motion and second, the closed session minutes of May 12, 2026 were approved. On motion and second, the bill list for June 9, 2026 was approved. On motion and second, the public comment session was closed with unanimous consent. On motion and second, the closed session was approved by unanimous consent at 8:03 p.m. and returned to open session at 8:18 p.m. On motion and second, the motion to accept the resignation of employee 293503 effective June 4, 2026 was approved. On motion and second, the motion authorizing the professional services agreement to engage Stephanie Chase and constructive disruption for creation of the strategic plan was approved. On motion and second, the meeting was adjourned by unanimous consent at 8:24 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico.
Abstain.
Ms. Kabadi.
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Shreyans Patel.
Abstain.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. Okay. Move to approve the closed session report. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico.
Abstain.
Ms. Kabadi.
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Shreyans Patel.
Abstain.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. Okay. Financial reports. Mr. Kleiman.
Financial reports. The financial reports show the balance sheet ending June 30th, 2026. Not very much has changed over the last month, except for the current bill list that you have in front of you. Nothing unusual on the bill list. It does have our first payment to a contractor for the Clara Barton branch. That is currently slated at this point to begin work in early part of September. At this point with June 30th, we are approximately 50% of our spending allotment. So we are right on target for our spending up until this point. And so I would ask the board to approve the bill list in the amount of $311,000 and 89 cents.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? All right, can I have a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Shreyans Patel?
Yes.
And Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to the library director, assistant director's reports.
I have a top 10. I think that's easier to keep me focused. I think at the top of the list has to be the opening of the North Edison branch. I think many of you were there on Saturday, so you saw the branch and the excitement. What was more interesting was myself and Victoria were there yesterday morning when the branch opened. We're kind of laughing. People were waiting at 9:15 to get in. And I was there for about an hour and a half. One car pulled in, one car pulled out, one car pulled in, one car pulled out. It was really, it was kind of funny, but people know that we're open. They're really, really anticipating that we were open. And so a little chaotic, but to be expected. I was within 15 minutes on Monday. We did 4 new library cards from people who had never been in the library before. So it's really attracting a lot of people. The main library has been busy, crazy with programs. Our ELL program continues to grow. It never seems to decrease. And we'll be looking at how we can begin to expand that program in the fall, most likely looking for another teacher to teach classes in the fall. We need to expand that to Clara Barton and to the North Edison branch now that that's open. I had a great fun with here on Saturday with Betsy Ross. She came to life for us. We did have a small attendance, but it was the actor was wonderful, and we expect in August. We had Betsy Ross, so of course we're going to have Benjamin Franklin come and give the talk at the North Edison branch. Jessica Trujillo, our supervising librarian here, our children's specialist, wrote a grant application with the New Jersey State Library for a kind of award, and it's the Money Smart for Life. She had done a couple of programs here, and she talked about finances, and also she uses some of her little model kitchen with the kids to talk about costs and food and whatever. There were 6 libraries in the state that got that award, so we're waiting for a check for $1,000, which we'll use here for the Clara Barton branch. It was kind of like, I can write this up, should I go? I said, got nothing to lose, and here we go, $1,000. So congratulations to her, she did that. Bookmobile is about 80% done. I saw some of the interior pictures. We're just about ready to finalize the outside graphics. So we're getting pretty close for that. Deborah and some of the staff have been working on interviewing for the open positions and vacancies. That's taken a lot of her time and the committees. So we are making progress. We do have to repost some of the positions. So those will be going out next couple of days. Michael Worth and I met with Kathleen Carlucci as a follow-up. As you know, she's the person in charge of the Edison Tower, and we are working on cooperative programming that they would do at the tower and at the libraries. So this is gonna be an ongoing thing that we have throughout the year, and we still are working on a big Edison festival to do here at the library. in cooperation with the tower. And I know that when I spoke to Rob, he was interested in having the Historical Society do that as well. We're in the process of various stages of new furnishings for the Clara Barton, the main library, and the North Edison branch. Those will probably be reflected in the next couple of bill lists. Number 9, see, we're doing this quick. You like to see this one. Number 9, on Thursday, I have my first kickoff meeting with our strategic planning consultant, just to figure out days, times, who's going to be involved or whatever. We thought we could get together at American Library Association conference, but our schedules did not work out. I will be on vacation the first 2 weeks in August. I think I let the board know that, which is why we have the board meeting scheduled for the 18th, and I'll work out with Deborah, Sherry, and Amanda about making sure that the material goes out on Friday to the board for the board meeting on Monday. I'll be returning on Saturday, so if anything needs to be done, we can still get it out on Sunday and Monday. So that's my quick top 10. I think I filled in all the other gaps about ALA conference and other things. Of course, is always open to questions, ideas, thoughts, whatever, of anything that I wrote or would like to know anything more.
Deborah, do you have anything?
Oh, just a couple of things. I did.
You got a top 10 too?
No, I have a top 3. So, well, maybe 4, 3.5. I was able to go to the reception. I really enjoyed it. I, in particular, liked people's personal accounts of their experiences with public libraries. So that was fun. I am hoping to, by the end of the week, get a count of the new cards that we've created, just to give us an idea. I think maybe some people waited to renew their cards till they came back. Yesterday in the afternoon, Alan went in the morning, I went in the afternoon. I did get to go, was it yesterday? Monday. Yeah, sorry. I did get to go,
they all go into
it was incredibly busy. They were 5 people deep at all times at the welcome desk, and I met a lovely woman. I didn't catch her name. She came straight from pickleball practice, and she wanted to know everything, and she was super excited. And I think in general, people's reactions have been extreme happiness, a little bit of awe. They love the space. So overall, I think it's been good, and I can't wait to see where it goes. That was it.
Great. Okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know about the cooperative programming with the tower. Like, do we have any flyers for that, or when we're gonna start nothing?
We haven't gotten to that far yet.
When do you think when do you think these programs
I
will
don't think
start?
it's gonna happen until the fall.
Okay.
So, right? The wait might go with the.
Because it's tied to the school, so it definitely won't happen until at least the
Right.
fall, probably even later.
Okay.
So they have done this kind of project before, which is they invite school classes to come to the tower.
Yeah.
And then what they would do is they would have programming outside in a tent or something like that. And so instead of it doing it in the tent, which they have to rent a tent every time they did a class visit, it's cold, it's rainy, whatever, we're probably going to use the North Edison branch because that's the closest big base to the tower. And then we can show off the makerspace, and we would do makerspace programming with them. So it's kind of very Edison, it's science, kind of like science-based. So it's based on what they did before, but we haven't gotten any further than that. The name that they call it
Shining
is
a light on Edison.
Shining a Light on Edison.
Okay.
So I don't know if that had ever come up while you were on the board, but it evidently was done maybe years ago, and it just didn't get done in a while. So it's good to work with the tower and other departments of the town. And she's been a big supporter of the library, as we are of the tower. So it's good for us to work together.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Actually, I just have one for the strategic plan. When do you think we'll be ready to start the committee?
Well, that's why I'm meeting with her on
Okay.
Thursday. We're trying to get some kind of whatever, but I think it's probably not a bad idea for you to start thinking with the board of what the planning committee, and we'll start working on focus groups and dates and whatever kind of stuff. Once I meet with her on Thursday, I could send you a report if we've got anything substantive. But I think not a bad idea to start to think about where it moves forward, so that we can get it done. And I would probably say, just based on doing other strategic plans, it usually, a lot of it is done by Zoom,
Right.
but you know, there probably is a couple of extra in-person meetings.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see as, you know, majority of the board being on the committee. The thing we have to coordinate, obviously, because we have to having a quorum, so it would be good to maybe schedule, you know, we'll put a schedule out there, and whoever can make it, we can kind of figure out how many we have, and, you know, but I think instead of just choosing or having just 3 people on it, I think it'd be good to have the whole board a part of it, you know, but those logistics we can figure out, but it's just something I just wanted to bring up to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just choosing 1 or 2, if we can get everybody that can be at least at 1 or 2 of the meetings at some point, I think that'll be good, so everybody's included, all the ideas are included, and everybody's a part of that, since it's a really important part of, you know, our library system and what we're gonna be doing in the future, so.
I mean, basically, there's a small steering committee just to pick out dates
Right.
and those kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which, you know, maybe 2-3 people, but
Right.
the board should be involved
Yeah,
totally through
definitely.
the whole process.
Yep.
And I think we will rely on the board to help us in coming up with new names that we haven't reached out to before for focus groups.
Right.
So that we have different people at these focus groups that we've had in the past, just so that we can get different opinions. We have, you know, 4 or 5 new board members
Right.
who each have their own areas of
Mhm.
people they know, which we were not able to reach before.
Right.
Because we had different people on the board. So I think that would really help so that we can, I think one of the last time we did the thing, I think we didn't really have I'll call it the feelers
Right.
out, the network out that we needed to have to get as many different opinions as we could and feedback. So I think the more the merrier, and it's good to have some new faces on the board. And we would love to have, wink wink, Ralph, you know, the Board of Ed more involved perhaps this time than we were able to do the last time. So, I mean, that would be good because, you know, a good portion of who we serve are children and parents. So, and you know, I don't think we had parents groups, but not as many as we should have.
Right.
So I think, yeah, I'll know a little bit more after Thursday, and I can give you a call or send you a quick email on it.
All right, sounds good. All right, President's report. Just want to echo what Alan said about the grand opening. I thought it was a great event. I heard during the reception, a lot of people coming up to me just saying how, you know, the presentation was, and they were just, you know, the excitement was there. Somebody even said, you know, it seemed everybody was very personal that spoke about the library. It wasn't just a speech, you know, that the library actually touched, you know, a lot of people over the years, which I thought was really good to hear. It wasn't just, you know, we're there, we're presenting. It was something that really meant a lot to people. So I thought that was really, really good. So, the committee reports, unfinished business, no new business, liaison reports, public comments. All right. During the open portion of its meeting, the library board provides the public with an opportunity to offer comments regarding matters pertaining to the library. Pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, the board is entitled to permit, regulate, or prohibit the public participation in its meetings. Each speaker will have a maximum of 4 minutes to speak and should limit comments to matters pertaining to the library. Speakers are asked to begin their remarks by stating their names and address. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall maintain their comments in a civil manner. Anybody?
I'm the first. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Nasser, Pleasant Avenue, Edison, New Jersey. I'm here as a resident of Edison, as well as the president of the Friends of the Edison Public Library. I have 3 separate topics. The first one has 3 subpoints, totaling around the top 10 over there. So first is that we are moving forward with setting up our fundraisers for the rest of the year for Friends. So we have 3 restaurants fundraisers that are going to be coming up. Panera, Chipotle, and Antonio's Brick Oven Pizza. So there's going to be dates coming and a lot of promotion that happens within there. So it'll be spread out over the next 6 months, and more to come on that. Additionally, we're moving forward with another event and fundraiser that's a sip and paint that Anita and artist Nipur Nashid are spearheading, and Nipur is also having an art exhibit at the North Library coming in the fall as well, so we're going to try to time it around that. Lastly, we are having our 5K, which is going to be October 11th. We are working with the township as well as the county, and it is moving forward. We are waiting for a couple of things to be in place before we put the website out and people can start registering. So we're excited about it. This is going to be our first initiative with the township, and we are going to see how big we can make it. The goal is to have 300 runners, and we actually have already worked with a lot of other running organizations, so we're excited to see Edison come out in force and have the first K that the township has been wanting to do a 5K for years, so this is a perfect opportunity to set this one through. So it'll be with the America 250 initiative. So that's topic 1. Topic 2. So one of the biggest things that we wanted to do when we were redoing all of the libraries was having a teen space. And that was, a place for teenagers to hang out, chill out, and coming through. I know that with Maine, that was a big deal that was happening through. I haven't seen that come to fruition yet, and primarily it's because the books are still in that room. So I know that that's being worked through, but is there a timeline to when we are going to have that space for the teenagers to just, there are so many initiatives that I know that they've been speaking about, especially with the video gaming and all those things. So I'm excited to see what we can do for them, and especially with now North coming through, hopefully we have a space there as well. So if we can get an update on what that timeline is going to be like. And lastly, from a friend's perspective, so I went down a rabbit hole and have been doing a lot of research on what Edison Public Library has meant with the Friends, with the foundation, and all of that. So the Friends originally was incorporated in 1962. That means next year is going to be 65 years since the inception of it. It was consistent up until 2016, then it broke apart, became the foundation. Well, the foundation started a little bit before then, but it continued, and then now we've restarted in 2023. So the amount of people that I've met with that have been a part of the Friends group back in the 1990s, back in the 20s, and these are folks that are older in their 70s and 80s, and the interaction that they've had with the public library is very different than what I'm facing here. So I would like to see what are our opportunities to kind of go back to what it was like back in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, where the Friends organization was an integral part of the community engagement tier that was within there. And I know that you guys this is new for me just as much as it's new for you guys, because for the last decade, it didn't exist. So now that we are building it through, we're taking root.
What's that?
Post-time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I
Continue.
just said we're taking root.
You can continue.
No, I was just saying that we're taking root. I want to make sure that we're partnering together to build this together as a community pillar, not just something that's was going to fizzle out because we were protesting when the library was closing. That's not, it might have started that way, but that's not where the intention is going forward. This is something to do with the north side, the south side, the entirety of Edison, and I want to grow this with you. So help me to help Edison with this, with being a lot more friendly with our library. So, thank you.
Okay. Alan, can you, the teen room, where are we at with that?
As we said last month, that's gonna be opened when we come back to school.
Okay, so that's our goal.
That's our goal.
September,
Yes.
basically September is
Yep.
where we're at. Okay.
Thank you.
As far as the, I guess, relationship with the friends in the library, I think what would be a good thing would be is meeting with myself and the director, assistant director, and then we can kind of discuss where we're at with that and what, you know, how we can help each other, work with each other.
I like
I
that.
think that would be the best way to go with that.
Okay.
And, you know, so, all right. All right, sounds good. Anybody else?
Do you want to know?
Oh, yeah.
Tina Thompson, 3rd Street. Just a few quick things also. And I know we've done a lot of work with Maine and North and so forth, but I'm wondering, because we've been discussing this for eons, it seems like, and I believe we have a contractor. When might the Hoover Avenue, I've got 3 things before you answer me. When might the Hoover Avenue entrance open? And I know we've often talked about freshening up Clara Barton, repainting, new furniture, possibly artwork on the wall. When might that happen? And I do use the library I'm here at least once a week, twice a week. I feel that I'm reading I'm reading some of the same titles over. And before the library was about to close, we also saw boxes and boxes of books leaving. We've been told they were old titles, but I'd like to know how many titles did we have on the shelf prior to the possible closing, and how many titles do we have on the shelf now? Because it does seem to me, and maybe it's the genres that I read, that there's less and less titles. And I pick up a book and I'm 50-page into it and I'm like, I already read this. So when might we see improvements here at Clara Barton, the Hoover entrance, and how are we getting more titles in?
Okay, so I'll have Alan talk about the Hoover and the other thing, but as far as refreshing this place, we just finished
Understood.
the projects, the Main, and we just finished North. So the concentration, the focus is gonna come over to Clara Barton now.
But do we have a
So-
time frame or?
Well, we have the contractor, so we're working with that. So again, we just finished North, so I would think within the next month or two, we'll start talking about how we're gonna refresh this place up, and really start putting the focus onto this. But again, we had to finish all the other stuff first, and that,
Understood.
all those other 2 buildings. But, my main goal, as I've said in the past, is we are going to refresh this place. We're gonna work on it, we're gonna get, input from everybody, what do we need to do? But again, the goal over the next few months now, for me and the board and, talking to Alan, is working on Clara Barton.
And one last, before time runs out.
No,
We used to have a people counter, and I am still very, very fearful, because we are the smallest library, we draw from the smallest amount of zip codes. I come in especially in the summer, I come in the middle of the day, and I see small families here, but I don't see them necessarily leaving with books. Maybe mom, just this morning I was in the library, and mom and children were leaving, no books in their hands. And so they've done something in the library, they used the library, and I hear her saying, let's go get lunch and we'll take it up to the park. So and I know the librarians sometimes do their little counting. I am still fearful that this library will close because it's not used enough. But sometimes people come and use the library, but it's not necessarily a transaction. Or there's other seniors in the neighborhood that I talk to, they come in because they don't get the newspaper anymore, they don't get certain magazines. So how can we make sure this library stays viable? And in my little finance brain, you have a people counter. You have some way to say there was 50 people here today, or there was only 2 people here today. So that's another thought, so
Yeah, well,
If I can respond to that.
please.
You may not know, we have people counters. They are in all the rooms. They are, we are now in 2026.
Okay,
We don't use little counters on doors anymore. Everything has sensors. We can count where people come in, what room they use,
okay,
whether they check a book or not. It's totally separate than
Okay.
circulation. So we've had that now, here's 6 months?
Yeah, about.
Yeah, about 6 months.
okay.
Currently being installed in the North Edison branch as part of the renovation, and then it will be part of, so it tracks where people go. So we can see how many people go upstairs, how many people come in this room.
Oh, good.
How many people just come in, maybe to the children's room and whatever. So, that, we've now entered the new age. So you don't see them, but they're there. And we can get our counts from our dashboard.
Oh, good to know, okay.
And I will just say that as far as this library closing, there has been no talk since years ago when that whole thing happened. The board has never had
Alright,
any
good.
discussions about that
Okay.
whatsoever. I personally, as long as I'm the board, I will fight to keep this library open because, during that time, you guys proved to us, when I was on the board then, that this library is important to you guys. It's important to families, and it's gonna stay here, like I said, as long as I'm on the board, I will fight to make sure this library stays open, because there's no reason for it to close.
Okay, good to hear.
So,
So with the improvements, Hoover Avenue opening, you're thinking the fall-ish?
Well, if you had been here earlier when I gave my report,
yeah,
it's scheduled for construction in September.
Okay,
yeah, that's for the Hoover and,
Yeah,
You know,
and
I
once
think-
that's done,
Yeah.
Then that will be the catalyst for all the changes that we need to make. But that needs to be done first,
understood.
so
Yeah.
that we can not be doing things in here while we have construction going on, and do things twice. So
Right.
I believe that the board president at the last meeting or the meeting before said it was going to be the 2027 emphasis, because we have already done this. So it starts with September. There's a lot that needs to be done that you don't know about or see that Deborah and I already have on our list. So basically, we know there's a lot that needs to be done to upgrade the building to make it look more attractive.
yeah, no, definitely. The September, like I said, is the starting point. Again, we don't know how long that project's gonna take. That's why, as like Alan said, I did say at the meeting, 2027 will be focused on Clara Barton. So the fall is kind of giving us the time
To
to
get ready.
for it, but 2027 is because the other 2 libraries were good. Things are, there's minor things that have to be done, but the shift of focus is gonna be here.
Okay,
So you'll hear probably in 2027 a lot of, asking residents what we need, what we want, what they want, and, how we're gonna make things upgraded here.
and how will you reach out to the residents for that information?
I mean, we'll be talking about it at the meetings. I mean, that's gonna be the main thing. So I would just, I would encourage people to watch the library meetings. That's where they can get a lot of the information, that we discuss, They can always send an email to myself, to Alan, if they want to just say, hey, where are we? Is there an update? What's going on? I don't mind those emails. I can easily, answer myself or, send it over to Alan. But anytime any resident has a question about anything, just send an email. And we're no problem with answering, so.
I mean, it was also timed, this is all timed in to the new strategic plan, which means, usual in a strategic plan, you do 2 things. You do a survey and you do focus groups.
Right.
That's how you get your information.
Yep.
So, obviously, those will be scheduled when we start working out the dates with the consultant. And updates will be given at each one of the board meetings as the committees make reports.
Yeah, I think it would be, very exciting in 2027 to start seeing, a lot of the Clara Barton neighborhood to start coming to the meetings, so we can get input from them during the public comment. I mean, that would be something that would help us And I think it would help, getting this library where it needs to be. And it is really what I think what we need to do is encourage some people to be here, so. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Diane Garnell, 282 Hoover Avenue. I did go to the grand reopening on Saturday and in North, and I was very impressed with it. Happy to hear that our beloved Clara Barton is the next focus. Be happy to hear and see the improvements. I've actually lived in this neighborhood for 50 years this month. I first came here and I found that there was a library, which was actually a house in the parking lot. I have my original car. It's very well loved. And
Can I just interrupt you for 1
Yes.
second? So on Monday at North, a gentleman came in and he had trouble on the self-checks machine, so I went over to help him, and he had one of these cards. So I said to him, so that card was when we first automated. And I swear, every library, when all the libraries automated, those were the only cards everyone got. So every library I ever worked in, if you had a library card for maybe 25 or 30 years, you have these. And I said to him, you can, if you really want to, you can keep this as a souvenir.
Yeah.
And we have 5 more designs that you want. If you want, you don't have to get rid of it, keep it. And he said, I'm keeping it.
I said the same thing, because when they were looking to increase the cards, and I said, do I have the same number? And they went, oh no, you get a new number. I said, no, thank you. So, library is very near and dear to me, love coming here frequently. Of course, as to tag on Tina, the number of books have disappeared from the shelves. I'm hoping some of the funds will go into more books here. I've gotten books here from Clark, from North Brunswick, and you have to wait for them. You get them within a reasonable amount of time, but sometimes you want a book now, and we can't get it here. And I think with more books in the library, we'll increase some of the circulation once people come in and see, oh, they do have a better selection of books. I did meet with a consultant that was here in, I guess it was 2023, talking about renovations to the library. So I'm hoping that that information is being forwarded to you all. You mentioned before that Clara Barton will be the recipient of a $1,000 grant come in the fall. What is the focus of that grant?
There's no real focus of it. The state library just gives us the $1,000 because we won the award.
Okay.
But obviously, since I think to be fair, it should go to something for the children department, since it was children's programs, unless the board objects, and give it to Jessica to use to buy some more things for playtime and whatever here, which has been successful with her program. So I think that's kind of how I kind of feel. If she thinks we need some books that we don't have, if she wants some more stuff for her play game, with the baby time and the toddler time, I think that's a fair whatever. She wrote it. We didn't expect it. Let's keep it here at Clara Barton. So I'll talk to Jessica and see what you'd like to do with it once we get the check, which we haven't gotten yet.
So, are you able to address the concerns that they're saying about the books? Like, do we have less books? Do we have different?
Clara Barton gets the same copies. Main library might get 2 copies of something.
Right.
North may get 2 copies. This gets 1 but basically, we buy the same for all the libraries generally. We don't buy less for this one. Only what we buy less is quantities or something that we're sure is not going to go out. So all 3 branches are, I would say, need a lot of collection development work, because the main library, we were reduced to 1 floor for almost 2 years. North Edison, we were reduced to that space in the doctor's office. But all the books were coming in here on a regular basis. This was the branch that was actually getting copies of everything. I would also say, which you may not see, is if a book's sitting on the shelf here, the same way you get the book from Clark, if the book's sitting on the shelf and it comes up on a list that we picked for all the 40 libraries now, if it's sitting on the shelf, it goes out to those libraries. So I will say one thing about circulation. It has definitely improved. I can say this by one, the numbers, and two, the fact that I work here every week. So I see what people are taking out, what they're borrowing. All three branches and the bookmobile could always do with more books. And if you look at the budget, we're spending over $500,000 on books and book-related stuff. So that probably, if we had $1 million, we probably would buy $1 million worth of books. We just don't have it in our budget. But we've increased the budget over the last 2 or 3 years. It was somewhere, it used to be 350, now we have it at least to 550, and then we get discounts. So, as always, if there are things that you find in other libraries that we don't have, just speak to who's ever upstairs and let them know, because they're supposed to be sending myself and Rado, who does the ordering of the books for the whole system, with Teresa, things we may not have missed, things we're missing. They send in a list every week, so we make sure that we are working on that. I think what we haven't been doing diligently here is looking through the holds list and filling in copies of the holds list. The other things that has been happening slowly is not that the print is diminishing, our online presence is growing. So more and more, we're finding that we're putting more money in Hoopla, which is our videos and our audios and our music, and more we're putting our money in ebooks. A lot of people don't come in anymore. I would say 5 years ago, we might have bought 10 copies for a bestseller list in paper anymore, and we don't have the holds list anymore. We may have 10 people on our holds list where we used to have 100. People want it online, people want it on their phone. So we're still trying to develop a balance, but please let us know if there's something here that you think we're missing, and we can get it. I mean, that's not a problem. If the money's not an issue. So I just want to say, unlike other libraries, when it comes to books, money's not an issue. But sometimes, as diligent as you think you are, you miss stuff. So, I mean, you know me well enough to come in and talk to me, and I'm always here Monday night.
Okay. The other question I have is, during the renovation of this branch, will it be open to patrons, or?
Well, the only physical, at this point, the only physical thing I know of at this point is upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems likely with the first meeting that we had, we may have to close the second floor for a week. Because he's saying could be a week, that because it's not a big project, could be a week that we would be closed, which then we would figure out how to do the computers downstairs, bring the new books downstairs for the week. Other than that, if we do a painting, you do a painting perhaps on a day that the library's closed. So we learned from the main library in North how to try to keep the library open. I think we did a pretty good job. While other libraries would close during what we did, we stayed open because I really believe we need to be open. So the only thing that I know, because you don't want to be up there when they're banging in. We think, based on the first meeting I had with the architect and with the construction company, they think it's about a week. And even if it's 2 weeks, that's not so bad. And it's basically, once that's done, we can work on everything else. So, I mean, that's supposed to be first or second week in September.
And I would also say, if you're looking for a book and you do go to the librarian and it's home, it takes longer than normal, to make sure you shoot out an email or follow up with the librarian. Just, feel free to, to do that if you're looking for something.
And I would say generally, and this is just in the industry now, you know, the biggest library supplier of books was Baker and Taylor. And when they went belly up, it has affected all of us because all of the other companies, and we had other companies, we weren't using them at that point that they went belly up. Everyone is overstressed. They can't even get some of the titles. Even Amazon's not able to fulfill everything that they were because they were getting these from, there's a whole chain. Everyone thinks Amazon stocks everything. They don't. They were going to Baker and Taylor and getting books, or Ingram and getting books that they filled the next day. So every library is having fulfillment issues with getting what they need on time. Everything's taking, I'm gonna say mañana, unfortunately. So the next thing for us to do is we've talked to them once to see if Barnes & Noble will open up an account for us so that we can get things quick that we may need that they have on their shelves.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. But yeah, I mean, after buildings and personnel costs, our biggest wonderful expense is collection, and that's what people are still coming in for. They're coming in for a book to read. They're coming in, you know, that's what we're still about to most people, but that's okay. You know, I hope that in 3 years we'll get back to, you know, we had the highest year we had was about 600,000 items we checked out. We went down again to 4 because of all these closings. I hope that we're gonna get back to the 6 and 7. People use our libraries, even Clara. They use Clara. And I'm gonna say, we seem to get a lot more, I know, because I've seen you during the day, Tina. We get a lot, you know, Deborah works here, Kevin works here. We get a lot of traffic after 6 o'clock.
Okay,
From
okay.
6 to 8. And I see on Monday, and I see parents with children coming in, going upstairs for stuff. I didn't see that 3 years ago. And as people are moving in this neighborhood, they're all moving in with kids, and they're all coming to the library. And it's not just the kids taking the books out, the parents are going upstairs too. So we've had some requests for items that we ordinarily would not have had in the past.
Such as?
More urban fiction, kind of books for, it's that women's genre of 20, 25-year-olds, that kind of thing that we don't have a lot of in any of our libraries, that more contemporary novel that's not the typical romance that we used to have before. So we're changing even what we're buying. So let me know what you need. I know you're here all the time.
Okay,
Just let us know. That's not a problem.
thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
Anita, 1501 Edison Glen. I had a wonderful time at the North Edison Library. Thank you so much. I also heard about what a library stands for from Senator Pat Regan. He said it stands for the community, and that's the theme. Community is the theme, and thanks to the friends, beautiful cheese spread there. All of
Thanks to
it.
Alan.
Yeah, and Alan, thanks for the
I just wanted they
selection.
paid for it.
Yeah, it was really good. I just wanted to highlight 2 things. The seed library, incredible. I shared last time. A lot of people took seeds. I think it's refilled. So I'll reshare so that the seeds get emptied.
Before, just give us a week
Okay,
because we are very low.
okay,
And I have your email. If you give me a week,
okay.
Sherry and I can tell you because we wanted to give the North Edison branch like a little breathing space.
Okay.
So I think next Wednesday, we're gonna set up the seed library there. So I'll let you know when that is because we need to buy more seeds.
Yeah.
So this way, when you do it and we get inundated, we'll have what's on the, we'll have the seeds.
The harvest was really good. I had big zucchinis on the seeds. So I'll put the pictures out for all of you. Now.
You didn't bring any in?
No. Next time. We have Diwali, Navaratri, and a couple of cultural festivals coming after September. So we want the library to really be more vibrant on those cultural programs. So you can put more programs in the library, please do. And last but not the least, it's just an observation. The library stands for the community, its associated organizations, the foundation and the friends stands for the community. So the community is the basis. People in leadership come and go, but we need to give something for the generation, the institution should stand. So I look forward towards a collaboration, of a smooth flow of the friends, the public library and the foundation. I'm just giving a very high level statement. So I know Tony is a great leader and he understands from where I am coming from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to close public
Motion to
comment.
close?
Have a second?
Second.
Everybody?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any library trustee comments, questions? Nope, all right, so we're gonna go into closed session. And we will have some action. We'll get back to it, so it shouldn't be too long, so.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back in public session. Mr. Kleiman.
Okay. The first resolution is accepting the resignation of employee 291450. Whereas employee 291450 has tendered their resignation from the Edison Public Library effective July 16, 2026. Whereas employee 291450 has faithfully served the Edison Public Library through July 16, 2026, completing 18 years of dedicated service. Be it further resolved that the board extends its heartfelt gratitude for employee 291450's distinguished service through July 16, 2026, recognizing the lasting contributions made to exceptional customer service, dedication to the library's mission, and unwavering support of the Edison community. And be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees expresses its sincere appreciation for employee 291450's 18 years of service and extends its best wishes for continued health, happiness, and success in all future endeavors.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Errico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shreyans Patel,
Yes.
and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is an addendum to the agreements between the Free Public Library of Edison Township and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, New Jersey Council 63, Local 2204-01, and Local 2204-02 for the terms of January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2027. This addendum is entered unto this day, July 2026, by and between the Free Public Library of the Edison Township Public Library and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, and hereby modifies the collective bargaining agreement between the parties for the term of January 1, 2025 through December 1, 2027.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Errico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shreyans Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. The only announcement I have is this: the next meeting will be held August 18th at the main library. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Everybody?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.